All right. Lord, hopefully I can get this down to 2 more videos. Oh, man, I talk a lot. I know I do.
And they can't actually hear each other or respect each other because nobody is going to be this like image of ideological purity. There's all these purity tests, right? And as soon as you've been deemed not pure enough for the left, you're just done. They'll throw you in the trash. And one thing that I like and align with some of my more moderate to right-leaning friends is this idea that we're still human beings and we should still be able to like see through our differences and work through them in a respectful way, you know?
We grew up knowing this stuff. What the, how, oh my God. As I said, how is it that y'all have more knowledge than we ever had growing up? Y'all have more access to this knowledge that we ever had growing up. And yet y'all are still dumber than dirt. Yeah, we need to be able to have dialogue and not be able to have violence and everything. You literally need to voice that? Shit, this is America, freedom of speech. We all knew that shit growing up. The fuck is wrong with you people that y'all political science students and sociology? I took sociology. It's bullshit. Sociology is a bullshit class. Oh my God, I have to do a whole video based on that. Sociology is bullshit. Bullshit.
And I really value loyalty. I'm a very loyal person, and I find more of my, like politically, I find more of my moderate to right-leaning friends are, at the end of the day, even if they think I'm like a crazy nut job liberal or whatever,
right,
they aren't going to just up and leave me and, you know, stop talking to me like many of my liberal friends have. You know, I've never been abandoned by my right-wing friends over my views. Left-wing, absolutely.
That is interesting. You know, I guess I never really thought of it without having had left-wing friends like Sally Cohn on the show. And when people kind of doggy piled on her, I try to still say I disagree with her, but she's a very decent human being. That being, no, you know what? You're absolutely right. Now that I go back, all my left-wing friends from Montreal, none of them like me anymore. They all hate me. Then again, they might have just been looking for an excuse. So if you look at many do. How would we say? So some things you talked about quite a bit. Since I have you here, and you talked about sort of respectfully either finding common ground or disagreement, like toxic masculinity, you talked about quite a bit, and it seems as though you transitioned a little bit, certainly in your explanation of how it's often perceived or described. How would you describe your view then and now, if it's changed?
I don't think it's really ever changed. I have always felt that there are elements of how we raise girls and how we raise boys. Those gender roles that we, you know, uphold so highly in our culture, that there are some roles for boys and girls that are...
Because we're different fucking sexes. Different gender. Boy, girl. Can't change fucking biology. There's no magic fucking pill. There's no girdle of masculinity, femininity, you know, D&D that exists yet to change your fucking biological makeup. Oh my God, there's no magic device. You can cut off your penis and create a vagina or add a fucking penis and everything, and you could do all of that dumb bullshit through surgery and hormones and all that other crap. But your genetics are still your fucking genetics. So yes, there are different fucking roles. Again, you people, I play fantasy games. I love sci-fi shows and movies and fantasy shows and movies, but I LARP. I fucking LARP. If y'all don't know what that is, fucking look it up. I LARP, and I still live in the fucking real world. You guys, I swear to God, live in the damn Matrix. At least you think you do. Jesus. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Hurtful to them and can be toxic to others. Okay. And when we're talking about toxic masculinity, in particular, one of the big issues is telling boys to suppress their feelings and to deal with their upset and their emotions with violence. You know, I think
Whoa,
that
whoa,
men should
whoa,
be able to
whoa, whoa, whoa,
express
whoa,
their
whoa.
feelings.
Bitch, now you're outright lying. Who the fuck says that? Who outright comes out and says that? No, what it says is, at least the way that we boys are fucking raised, is no, keep your mouth shut, bottle up your feelings and everything, and just toughen up. That's the way boys are. Nobody said handle it with violence. The fuck? Where is the evidence of that bullshit? That fucking quote you just gave. Who told you that? Who said that to you? Where's the evidence of that as not one of your friends telling you, not some person off the street? Where is the societal evidence as a society that all boys are taught that shit? I hate fucking liars. And to make that kind of a like across the board all male fucking quote, no. Who the hell told you that shit? You need to back that shit up with some fucking evidence if you're gonna make that kind of a comment.
And when we shame them and call them puppies and being a little girl or whatever for having feelings, that is really something to do to a human being.
Yeah.
Because men are humans too, and they're gonna have feelings sometimes, you know?
Sure. Yeah, I don't think anyone would disagree with that, though. I think what I would disagree with is the presupposition that society tells young men to deal with their emotions through violence. That's where I would say,
oh my God, he caught it!
Young boys tend to be more aggressive. Young boys.
There have been a few things, Steven. There have been a few fucking things of the videos I've watched where they have said something and you or your panel, your people that are there in the studio with you, didn't catch what they said. There have been a few fucking times. That's why I love your videos. I love being able not to pick apart your videos, but to pick apart the dumbasses that you interview or that change my mind. I love that shit. Or Candace Owens. I'll get to Ben Shapiro eventually too, with some of his stuff and the dumb people that he's dealt with. But your videos, I watch pretty much more than anybody because you kind of post more than everybody else. The Hodge twins. I'm on Facebook jail right now because I said something they said was against their community standards, which I directly wrote them going, how? Point out to me how it is against your community standards what I said. Of course, I'm not going to get a response because they know they're full of shit. But as far as Facebook goes, I do see more of your stuff, Stephen. I see a lot more of your stuff. And a lot of the times, people will say something that you didn't catch. I'm really proud of you, dude. Really proud that you caught this thing. Because that's what I was just responding to. Who the fuck told you that that's what boys are taught? Yes, we're taught to bottle our feelings and things like that. At least my generation was. Bottle our feelings up. We're not supposed to show our emotion. We're supposed to be, men, kind of thing. But to handle it with violence? That was not something my mom ever taught me. My mom said handle violence with violence in a response, way of doing it, but to just bottle up your feelings and handle it all with violence. Where the hell as I said, Steven, real proud of you, bro, that you actually caught that shit.
More hands-on, more rambunctious. And a lot of them are frustrated because we put them in a public education system, which is designed for women, not young boys. And we tell them not only not to be violent, but sometimes not to be young boys, which is a bit rough and tumble.
I think I agree with you that boys, because of testosterone and that's a
biology,
in general, they do have a lot of aggressive energy or a lot of energy in general, and that's
because of fucking biology. God damn, I swear, oh my God. You dumbass liberals seriously do not understand you cannot change biology. There's no pill or fucking magic device that changes your fucking biology. Not yet, anyway. And I weep for the world if that shit ever is invented. Because now we're going to be seriously talking about genetic experimentation and shit and super soldiers and I mean, at that point, government, you really think you're going to trust doctors and government and everything else? They're going to be genetically fucking, I mean, hello, that's what the Nazis were trying to do. Genetic manipulation to create the perfect race. You really want that shit? Oh my God, seriously, yes. We're boys because we have testosterone. We were born boys because nature, yes, there are your hermaphrodites and things like that that are genetic deformities, which are, oh, I'm not a deformity. Yes, the fuck you are. Jeez, oh my God. Oh my God, seriously. People that want to argue science. Anyway, yes, boys are boys. We're fucking boys. You're a fucking girl. And move on. Seriously, I think they've known boys and girls since, depending on what you believe, biblically, Adam and Eve, Lilith and Adam, and then Eve. Or you believe in caveman times, men and women. Or aliens created the human race, men and women. Whatever you believe, through humanity as the norm, it's men and women. So yes, they're more rambunctious and things because you're boys. And and the way she said it is like, are we supposed to fucking apologize because I wasn't born a girl, which is something I had nothing to do with? Bitch, I had nothing to do with whether I was born a boy or a girl or what race I am and shit. I didn't go back to the ancient times to tell what ancestors to fuck each other or get my parents together to fuck each other to produce me. I had no choice in that shit. So for you to make the comment like you made, like we get a choice in the fucking matter, fuck you. Damn, seriously, what is up with fucking feminists and liberals? Like the Matrix is real. Like you could just program shit in and there's reality right there. Sword Art Online. There you go. Right there. SAO is a damn good example. This is not SAO. This ain't virtual reality. This is the real fucking world. Damn. What is up with these people?
Well, I think that we need to have positive outlets for boys. Like, I think sports is a great outlet for people's energy, and girls have that energy too sometimes. It really just depends. But
yes. Like a lot of the females I knew growing up, like my grandma, my mom, who's a martial artist, played sports with us, like a lot of the girls that were in my martial arts classes with me who whipped ass. Love y'all girls, man. Out there, like, I don't care if I'm a girl, I'm gonna get out there and, oh my God. That's what I'm talking about. And that was, just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you need to be this way, as in, I just need to be a weak little timid princess. No. Just the same way as just because you're a man doesn't mean that you need to be all hard and fucking tough all the fucking time. I don't have any weaknesses. What are you talking about? I don't cry. I don't cry. I'm not crying. I got dust in my... No. Just be a human. Just live good lives. That's it. Lead good lives. How hard is that?
Sports and healthy competitions, ways to get that energy out in healthy ways that doesn't hurt people. I don't think there's ever this message that sometimes there is, but usually it's not like you should go out and beat someone up, but sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like, oh, you're having a problem with someone in school, you should show them who's boss. You should take them down and not put up with their crap, because that's how you show that you have self-respect as a man. And I think that is not a very productive thing to tell boys. My dad told my little brother this all the time. You should just, beat him up.
No, what your dad, I'm pretty sure, actually said is don't let somebody treat you like a fucking bitch. Defend yourself. Simple as that. Defend yourself. There ain't going to be somebody protecting you all the time. You can't call the fucking cops all the time. You got to learn to defend yourself. And I would say the same thing if you were my daughter as well, which I have said to my daughter. Fight your own battles if you can. If you can't, do whatever you can to defend yourself and then get away. I don't want anybody to be weak. There's evil in the world. This isn't a political fucking thing. There's evil in the world, period. They're just evil for the sake of being fucking evil. And I don't want to hear anything about, oh, mental disorders and blah, blah, blah. No, there's just evil in the world for sometimes the sake of just being fucking evil. Male or female, everybody should be able to defend themselves. But you do realize you're talking about a bully, the person who was being a bully, and your dad told your brother to basically defend himself. Don't get played. Don't be treated like a bitch. Because as when I posted in one of my other videos, you do realize when you just turn the other cheek, turn the other cheek, turn the other cheek, that's empowering to a bully. Do you people not know what bullies are? I don't, again, it keeps coming right back to the same thing. You guys, it's almost like y'all have no idea that you live in the real world.
And I'm like, maybe not though.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I was going to say, I've never heard that.
What you have problems with.
Yeah, I've never ever heard that amount. I wonder how much with I guess sort of modern third wave feminism is this perceived societal conditioning versus what's happening in actuality. Because if you look at any public school, any public program, any intramural sports, they punish severely any outbursts of violence. And I've never heard anyone personally tell a young boy to be violent. I've heard them say, defend yourself. My dad told me that. I almost think that telling young boys they shouldn't be the way that they are with checks and balances is more toxic than trying to create outlets that maybe aren't the most conducive toward actually, like you said, sort of expending some of this aggressive testosterone-laden energy.
Well, I don't think that anybody, I mean, I think for one thing, intramural sports is different than how boys and girls are socialized. Like, there's no doubt about it that we do tell,
sure.
And there's a lot of data to back this up, that we do feel more comfortable with boys expressing their emotions physically and solving problems physically. And you see this in the movies everywhere, like.
Yes, and those are the parents I don't like. Why can't a girl learn martial arts or work on a car or work on a fucking farm like my mom? You know, grow up on a farm and shit. Be a farm girl, riding horses, roping and calfing and all that other shit, and still be a lady here. Why can't a guy be same hunter, gatherer, doing the same shit and be a gentleman here? Same fucking thing. There's no difference there. I swear, again, these people live in a fantasy world. I told my son, defend himself, control his emotions, because when you become emotionless or you just let your emotions control you, all kinds of bad things happen. You end up, I would point out kids, you know, when they were children, I would point out little children throwing temper tantrums and shit. I'd be like, look at that. See that? My children would be like, what's wrong with them? And I'm like, their parents let them control them. And I would say it out loud. I would actually say it out loud in the hope that the parent would fucking hear me and be like, what did you say? And I'd be like, you heard what I said. What are you going to say back to me? And of course they, you know, because as I said, I'm a big guy. I ain't going to play that shit. I don't want your dumbass, whiny, throwing a fucking tantrum and screaming at you and everything else, influencing my well-behaved sitting there. Because other people, there was a woman who actually said, as a matter of fact, it was that lady. This was at a doctor's appointment. Well, you must beat your kids to get them to sit quietly like that. And I was like, do I spank you? No. Why do you have manners? Because looking like, and my son was like, because looking like that is stupid. Talking about her kid. Because seriously, you're the parent. Control your fucking kid. But now those same dumbass kids are now grown up and thinking that the real world, because mommy protected me, mommy let me throw my tantrums and everything. the world's going to do that too, right? No, the world isn't your mom and dad. That's not the real world. The real world is going to tell you to shut the fuck up. But here we go with these dumbass liberals in safe spaces, and your opinion matters, even though it's wrong. Your opinion, no, your opinion doesn't fucking matter. What you contribute to society, that does matter. Taking away people's rights and things like that, because you might feel, I do feel threatened. How does me owning a gun make you feel threatened? Because you might use it. I hope I don't have to use it, but if something happens where I end up having to use it, let me ask you a better question. Why would I use it on you? Well, I don't know. Well, if you don't know, so you basically want to be Minority Report. You want to basically stop crimes before they happen. You guys want to arrest people before they actually commit a fucking crime. Well, that's funny because y'all can barely arrest your fucking selves for actually attacking, assault and shit. You can't even arrest you. You don't even feel you should be arrested because of what the hat they wore made me feel threatened. So I had to physically attack them. Well, that's funny how she brought up violence and shit. Because I would have been bringing up Antifa at that point. Oh, so you don't want people to be violent. You want people to control that shit. Well, what about a lot of these women that are in these videos that are actually attacking a lot of these people? What about a lot of these women that they're the ones instigating a lot of the violence? They're the ones starting hitting people because they're playing I'm a woman card. They're not going to hit me back. So what about that violence? They're not even boys. They don't have any testosterone, not male testosterone. So why are they violent? Mm-hmm. See, that's the kind of shit I'd be throwing in her face right now. It's like so only boys are violent. Wow, that's funny because most of the videos that are being posted right now in these last few years of violent acts and fighting and everything, most of those world star videos are women. Kind of interesting, right? It's not a lot of men doing that shit. It's mostly the women. Interesting.
You see this at bars and at schools, and there's just sort of this idea that if you're a guy who has self-respect, you should stand up for yourself, and the way you stand up for yourself may include physical
as a defense. He literally just said that to you.
Violence sometimes. And I think that this message can also come out in relationships because, we have a real abuse problem in a lot of teen relationships. I don't know what the statistic is, but any amount is too much, right, of abuse. And it's not just physical abuse, like men and women abuse each other in different ways. Men are more likely to be physically violent. Women are more likely to be emotionally, psychologically abusive.
Yeah. Whoa. Actually, I think those statistics are a little different, especially as far as I've personally seen. Women have been very mentally and emotionally abusive, and then play the woman card on top of that and are physically abusive. We know, especially now, maybe not back in the 70s and shit, but especially now, we get punished whether we actually did any. Hello, Brett Kavanaugh. We get punished whether we actually did anything or fucking not. Just because y'all are women and can whine and cry at the drop of a hat, the guy must have done something. Okay, is there any evidence? Oh, no, she's crying. That's enough evidence for us. So men know to do everything we can not to fucking do shit. But funny how you hear more about lately, especially in the last, decade? There are more men being abused by their wives, by their girlfriends. Interesting. I mean, the whole Jay-Z, Beyonce sister shit, did he hit her? Did he attack her? Did he even hit her back? No. But she sure as hell attacked him, which I was pissed about. Because I was like, bitch, I would have knocked you out. Because where do you come off thinking that you can, I can't hit you, right? I can't just come off out of the blue and fucking hit you, but you feel you can do that to me? Well, now, see, now you hit me. So now I didn't start it, but I am going to finish it. And I love it. Well, he's a guy, he's a big guy, and he shouldn't hit her back. And she shouldn't have hit him because he's a big fucking guy. I love how y'all want to punish the person on the receiving end of, because they're a big person and everything. It's like y'all wanted to punish him if he must have said something. Oh, so she's allowed to hit him because he must have said something. Oh, she was protecting her sister, so she's allowed to hit him because she's protecting her sister. But again, as I said, if he had hit her back, oh my God, how dare he? How dare she? Y'all want equality, then you want equality. Period. Across the board. Period. You can't pick and fucking choose your damn equality. You want equal, then it's got to be equal.
So we maybe part of that is like our biological nature as males and females, but I do think the message is reinforced.
Yes.
Actually.
I guess.
Yes, biology.
Where do you think it's reinforced?
Why is it that liberals want to keep saying, I guess biology, I guess biology? We're not fucking cyborgs. Again, this isn't Alita Battle Angel. We're not fucking cyborgs. We're human. We're still human. Oh, sorry. Actually, even that wouldn't work as far as a cyborg goes because there's still the human brain, still human element. We are not data. We're not androids. We're still humans. So yes, biology. Why is it a hard word for you guys? Why do y'all say, well, we get a choice. We have a choice. Or I guess biology. Why is that so hard for you? Like physical shit. This is the remote for my Fire, TV thing, It's really here. Why do y'all have a hard time? Like, this is biology. Real. I'm a real person. Oh my God, I'm a real boy. I mean, why do y'all have such a hard time? Y'all live in a fantasy world. Y'all just think y'all could just program in what you want, and it literally changes everything. I'm a woman because no, you're not a woman. You are not a woman. No, I don't care how hot you may look. You are still not a woman. Period. Because of the fact you're biologically not a fucking woman. But I get a choice. You don't get a choice in biology. Now, again, if we create the fucking D&D girdle of masculinity, femininity, then you would get a choice. That's unless you picked it up and put it on and didn't, identify it first, then you didn't have a choice because you put on technically would be considered a cursed item, and now you're permanently that way unless you have a wish or, whatever. Anyway, now see, told you, total fucking nerd, all this shit. But unless we actually create, fucking D&D shit, magic and everything to where you can just change your fucking, DNA shit, you are who you are. I don't care if that offends you. I don't care if that offends anybody out there. Transgender. I got a lot of transgender friends, a lot of gay friends, a lot of lesbian friends. I got a lot of those fucking friends. They all agree with me. Just because I know I'm still a guy, but I choose to, okay. But in the end, you're still a guy. Yeah. Nothing. Shoot, this one's getting, I'm trying, as I said, I'm doing my best to try and keep these videos down to like 30 minutes. But as I said, because I'm still new to this, as far as all this posting and everything else, I'll end up advancing all this stuff later on. You know, as I said, I own, I own a lot of, tens of thousands of dollars of karaoke and DJ equipment and stuff. So I've got microphones, I've got audio equipment, I've got all this stuff, but I'm not one of those people that's going to be, I'd rather have the issues be what I'm talking about. Not that, oh my God, well, your camera feed, what are you using, the laptop camera? Yeah, I am. Because I don't care about all the fancy, oh my God, that person's got, the fucking great mic and a headset and all this other. I don't care about any of that. If you can hear me and you can see me and hear my point of view and everything, that's all that matters. Again, I'm old school, 49 years old. I grew up in the 70s where we didn't have fucking cell phones and PCs and shit at the very beginning and all that. So I'm a very simple person. I don't get distracted by bright lights and all this other bullshit. I grew up watching, Elvira later on in years, teen years and stuff. But I grew up with back home on the East Coast of Norfolk, Virginia, with Dr. Madblood and shit, watching the old school stuff. I don't, black and white TVs. As I said, we did have that one TV in the living room that your parents fucking controlled, except maybe Saturday morning, as long as you were quiet and didn't wake up dad because he was a dick, So your Saturday morning cartoons and stuff. And we actually went outside and fucking played. And, I'm a very simple person. So I don't get, as I said, all fancy. And I have a large book collection. I collect a ton of books. As I said, I'm a gamer, role-playing games, D&D, Rifts. I have been playing D&D since first edition. Back 1983, 13 years old with my older brother and his friends. I would rather play board games. And I mean, I am a gamer. I'm an online gamer. I'm retired. And I'm a beta tester for Bungie. I've been a beta tester for Wizards of the Coast. I am a ranked Magic the Gathering player. So I am a nerd and a geek. But as I said, I am a hunter as well. I'm a hunter, collect guns, weapons, martial artist. I would rather read books. I would rather use my intelligence. I'd rather sit there and use my intelligence and my imagination, rather play role-playing games than I would be on Destiny 2 or Division 2 or any of the other games that I play. I haven't been back on World of Warcraft in years. I'm also a tester for World of Warcraft as well. For Blizzard. I've been a beta tester for Blizzard for many years. So I'm all of those things, but I am a conservative as well. So I want, when people want to try and talk to me, and a dialogue, not yelling, not screaming, none of that bullshit. You want to have a dialogue with me, then we'll sit down and have a dialogue. I've been that way my entire life. I've changed the minds of my drill instructors when I was in the Army. I've literally called them out on shit that I knew they were wrong about. You can't do that. You can't tell the drill instructor that they're wrong about something. You know what they'll do to you? And I'm like, you know what? I was born in a military hospital. I'm a Navy brat, born and raised military, and the way I was taught about the military is if you could actually show what you're saying. They don't want robots. Then again, I also didn't join the Marines either. They don't want robots. They want leaders, and yeah, I would point out when they would do stuff that was wrong. Yeah, they got in my face and did the whole yelling thing and stuff, and then it came down to permission to speak freely, Sergeant. Yeah. At that point, it's one of those, I'm going to let you know why you're wrong. I didn't just throw my opinion at you. I'm going to let you know why you're wrong. And in that case, like as I said with one of the previous videos I made, where I pointed out about the hand-to-hand combat portion of basic training, and that one particular drill sergeant was wrong in the way he was throwing a punch and everything. He, at first, as I said, he was in my face, all my years and my chevrons and my fucking stripes and shit. You ever see how many years and everything? But once I said, hey, permission to speak freely, to basically let you know why you're wrong, not my opinion, but my expertise in the martial arts, that's when he backed off. That's when he literally backed down. Then there was another one when we were doing our combat medic training. And one of the drill sergeants, oh my God, I have my basic yearbook thingy, whatever the hell. I can't remember his name, but it was an Asian drill sergeant, and he screwed up. It was for a gunshot wound, and he screwed up some of the steps. I caught it. Other people I looked at caught it. But no one was brave enough to say anything, even though this is part of our class. This is part of the training. This is what we were supposed to learn, and he was messing it up. And I was like, Sergeant, can I ask a question? And no, shut up. And I was like, what's he gonna do? Is he actually literally gonna make me push because I pointed out that he was fucking wrong? And sure enough, he tried. He did try. You know, and it was one of those, so you're actually going to punish me for pointing out something that we are supposed to be learning properly, and I corrected you. You know, which of course, he wasn't my direct drill sergeant, but one of my drill sergeants stopped him. You know, it was like, hey, you can't be punishing my private because he caught you in something. I mean, it was like, did you want us to learn the proper way of doing this, or the step that you got wrong, you know? So he had to I know that drill sergeants don't want to be wrong, or they don't want to be shown that they're wrong. But my point is, this was training. This is what we were supposed to learn. And if you get the shit wrong, and somebody does that, like say in the real fucking world out there in Iraq or something, well, this is what Sergeant so-and-so said, and fucking kill somebody. I was like, whoa, no, I got to say something. What'd you see? I had messed up CD. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, man. Yeah, I know they can't stand being wrong about stuff. I'm a disabled veteran now, retired. I still do a lot. I mean, I spend a lot of my time. I've spent most of my life on base. As I said, I was born military. My dad was Navy, so I'm a Navy brat. My wife was Navy, so I was married to her. So was married to military. Then I was in the Army. And even now, I help other veterans out with medical things and fighting with stuff with the VA a lot, which I am going to start posting some of those videos as well, which I'm pretty damn sure they're not going to be happy about. But I've got friends at community care at the VA, and I got a lot of other friends that work at the VA. And, you know, so I have help basically, you know, when it comes to a lot of stuff. So I already know I'm going to piss certain people off, but I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be straight up about shit. And I'm not afraid of anybody trying to threaten me. I mean, my dad used to be that way. Growing up with knowing some of the corrupt cops that actually dealt in prostitution and dealt in drugs and things like that, the actual corrupt cops, I knew those guys growing up as a kid. I still would be like, hey, what you're doing is wrong. You know, or if they came to pick on me and my friends kind of thing, just sitting there doing nothing, and it'd be like officer fucking piece of shit that I know fucking deals drugs and shit coming up and everything. It's like, hey, we're not doing anything. We're not even doing anything. We're just sitting here. Don't you talk back to me. And I'm like, what are you going to do? And my dad would be like, oh, Mark, you know, you don't know what the police can do. And I'm like, Dad, I'm sorry. I literally said this to my dad. I'm not a coward like you. This was after I became a teenager. Because my dad was an abusive piece of shit growing up. But after I became a teenager and really being into martial arts and working out and exercising and going to the, going on base to go to the gym all the time and everything, and I towered over my dad, then it was my dad was like, yeah, okay, Dad, shut the fuck up. I'm not a coward like you. Oh yeah, we had no. We had a lot of female drill sergeants, and they were pretty damn hardcore, man. I respected those women. They weren't like I'm a whammon, so I'm gonna no. They were fucking hardcore. They were out there doing the same damn shit. They didn't like I'm a woman, so I'm a different type of drill sergeant. No, they were fucking Army. That's there is no color other than Army green. That's just the way it is. And I regret getting out. I really do. That's a whole other fucking story, and it's probably the biggest regret of my life and everything. But anyway, let me stop this video. Oh my God, my videos keep getting way off fucking topic and going over longer. I'm trying to keep them down to 30 minutes. Eventually 45, yes, but right now I'm trying to keep them down to 30 minutes. So, fuck, not even halfway through this shit because it's the uncut version of, this particular episode. So I'm going to try and get through as quickly as I can. So, oh my God, this was what? Episode 7, part 7? Jesus. Get to part 8.